Hi, friends. Here we are back again with Restart by our pal Gordon Corman. Y'all, chapter 25. We're in our final 5 chapters of this amazing book. What a wild roller coaster this has been. This book is a roller coaster. Is that a metaphor or is that a simile? Or is it something else? This book is a roller coaster. You're right, it's a metaphor. It means that this is just out of control. There are ups, there are downs. I can hardly keep up. Ugh, but I'm talking too much. I know what you're really here for. You're here for chapter 25. And it's told from our friend's point of view, our friend Chase Ambrose. Are you ready? Let's not waste any more time. Let's do this. Page 199. 199. Excuse me. I must be allergic to good stories. Okay. Chapter 25. There's something important you have to see. I stare at Brendan's text on my phone. It's the big deal he needs to show me. Probably nothing. Chances are he really is just trying to rope me into helping him with a new YouTube video, although he says he's not. I don't care. The fact that he texted me at all is something. I haven't heard a peep from any of the video club kids since that day in the music room, and, well, who can blame them? They all heard how I lied about the electrical fire. And they don't even know the really bad thing I did. To be honest, I'd give anything to be part of one of Brendan's goofball videos again. They're always hilarious, and I could use a good laugh right about now. I can't remember the last time I laughed. Nothing has been funny lately. And the most unfunny part is that I just found out about myself. Yeah, Aaron and Bear are jerks. My dad's pushy, and the video club has turned on me. But I'm worse than all of them. I'm a criminal, and the fact that I don't remember it doesn't change what I did. How could I do such a thing? It's a question that doesn't need answering. I didn't do it. The old me did. And it's no mystery that the old me is capable of some pretty awful stuff. I stole Mr. Solway's Medal of Honor from his room at Portland Street. One sleazy act of many, courtesy of Chase, Aaron, and Bear. I have no idea what I plan to do with it. Sell it, probably, and split the money with those 2 accomplices. But that little plan went sour when I stashed it somewhere, and then went and got amnesia and couldn't remember the hiding place. No wonder Aaron and Bear were so suspicious of me. They thought I was holding out on them so I could keep the profit for myself. And the worst part is that I can't even give the medal back to Mr. Solway because I have absolutely no idea what I did with it. And I don't know how to find out. Maybe it'll come back to me in bits and pieces like some of my past. But when? It could take years. What if Mr. Solway dies in the meantime? I mean, how will I ever make it right? It's funny. The idea of going back to Brendan's house stings, even though I've only been there once before. When I had the accident, I never longed for my old life because I couldn't remember it. But my new life, video club, and my new friends, losing that hurts a lot. Since this time now I know what I'm missing. And it hurts twice as much of how quick those guys were to turn on me. Maybe that means we were never really friends, even though I thought we were. My partnership with Shoshana felt that way for sure. When the 2 of us were working side by side, interviewing Mr. Solway and editing Warrior, I was positive that we were creating something amazing together. All the kids in Video Club were finally starting to trust me. Even Joel was kind of warming up to me. Or so I thought. I must have been nuts. In the end, that's why I decided to go to Brendan's. If he's reaching out to me, that's a good thing. I leave the house and I step into a beehive of activity. Boxes and furniture scattered all over the lawn next door. 4 big guys are loading everything into a moving truck. That's right, the Tottenhams are moving today. Supposedly, they're really nice neighbors who were great to Johnny and me growing up. Mom's sad that they're moving. I have no clue, of course. When you've got amnesia, it's hard enough to relearn the important people in your life. You tend to lose the crowd on the fringes. I'm cutting across the grass in the direction of Brendan's when the 2 movers step out of the front door carrying a large framed painting. I gasp for a second. Forget to breathe. It's her. The little girl in the blue dress trimmed in white. My only memory that stuck with me through the accident. I think of the hours I spent agonizing over that image, where it came from and whether I might have hallucinated the whole thing, but no, here she is, the same red ribbon on her blonde hair. I see details that aren't in my memory, like she's standing in a garden surrounded by flowers and there's a little watering can in her hand. I didn't imagine her at all. I remembered her from the painting in my neighbor's house. Page 202. I run over to Mrs. Tottenham's, who's wringing her hands over the handling a carton marked super fragile. That painting! I exclaim, my voice hoarse. Did you ever show it to me? Hello, Chase. She chuckles. That's just the reproduction, of course. The original Renoir would be worth tens of millions of dollars. Yeah, okay, I said breathlessly, but why do I know it? Did I ever see it in your place? Well, I don't think so, dear, she tells me. It was hanging in the upstairs solarium. I followed her pointing finger to the glassed-in sunroom on the second floor of the house. So that's what a solarium is, a glassed-in sunroom. Oftentimes they'll grow plants in there. Solarium has the word soul in it, like solar or sun. So I follow her pointing finger to the glassed-in sunroom on the second floor of the house. So I didn't see it, but I did. How else could it be that the only image to make the trip through my shattered memory? My eyes traveled from the Tottenham home to ours next door. Could I have looked inside their solarium from one of our upstairs windows? No way. The entrance to our house is around the corner, facing away from theirs. Our dormer is in the front. That sunroom faces nothing but a chimney and some sloped shingles. The only way to see that painting from our house would be to climb to the top of our roof and peer over the peak down into the huge glass window. And suddenly, I just know. I run back inside, tear up the stairs to my bedroom, and step out onto the perch that was so much a part of my old life. So he's back on the roof. I start to climb, my rubber-soled sneakers clinging to the rough shingles. The dormer, which houses my room, is beside me, but that leaves a sloped path of about 3 feet wide leading straight up to the top. As comfortable as I am on the section of the roof outside of my window, the steep slog to the peak is another ballgame. The grade is sharp, and the higher I go, the clearer the image of exactly what must have happened over the summer becomes, and how far I must have fallen. The ground seems so distant it should be in another zip code. I'm amazed I didn't dash my brains out all over the grass. I get on my hands and knees, and my ascent, his climb, my ascent becomes a crawl. I feel a little more secure this way, especially as I near the apex. The apex is another word for top, the peak. Especially as I near the apex, where I can use my right arm to cling to the dormer. I'm pretty scared, but I'm even more determined to get up there. For me to remember the little girl in blue, she must have been the last thing I saw before the accident. That makes sense, since the roof is the only place I could have seen her from. I can't explain it, but I am positive the key to what happened to me lies a few feet ahead. I stretch out my arm, get a grip on the top of the A-frame, and haul myself up to the gaze down at the Tottinghams' house. There it is, the floor-to-ceiling window to their sunroom. I can even make out a large faded rectangle on the wall where the picture must have hung. Okay, I think. This is where I was when I fell. But it still doesn't answer the big question. Why did I come up here? Was I spying on the Tottinghams and their sunroom? I was rotten enough, but why would I care what they were doing? Besides, according to Mom, we were friends. I could have just knocked on their door. Why bother climbing halfway up to the moon? Frustration wells up in me, mingling with my disappointment. So the little girl in the blue dress tells me where I fell from. But that's it. As I inch my way back from the peak, I extend my right arm, steadying myself against the cedar shakes on the side of the dormer. Those are the kind of wooden shingles that are on the little roof of his window. I extend my right arm, steadying myself against the cedar shakes on the side of the dormer. No sense in repeating my swan dive off the roof, although it's no more than I deserve. I almost slip as one of the shakes pulls away. A terrified gasp escapes me as I slide a little before stopping my descent with my feet. I hang on like a fly to a wall while the racing of my pulse returns to normal. That's when I catch a glimpse of the blue behind the dull brown of the loose shake. That's the shingle. There's something back there, wedged in behind the loose wood. I know what it is before I even reach for it. Do you know what it is? I think I know a very old man on Portland Street that's going to be happy about this. My hand closes on the silky blue ribbon, and as I draw it out, I feel the weight of the military decoration attached to it. The gold 5-pointed star catches briefly on some insulation, and there it is, Mr. Solway's Medal of Honor, stolen, hidden, forgotten, and discovered again. Then, as if finding the medal has unclogged a drain, the memory of my accident pours back to me. It starts at the apex of the roof, the top, with the gloating over the brilliance of my hiding place while peering down through the sunroom window at Mr. Tottingham next door. He's in the lotus position on the floor, performing awkward yoga in front of the painting of the girl in blue. And that's what does me in. The hilarious sight of my overweight neighbor twisted into a pretzel looking like a giant mutant lemon as in his skin-tight fluorescent yellow workout suit. I let go for just a second, reaching for my phone to get a picture of this one-man comedy routine. And the next thing I know, I am skidding down the roof, the rectangular pattern of shingles becoming a blur as I pick up speed. I claw madly at the slope, desperate for a handhold, a foothold, anything to stop my descent. It's no use. My momentum is too much. I am falling. So, I want you to stop here. Do not be confused. This is not happening right now. This is a flashback to his accident. He's remembering everything now. He said it was like taking a clog out of a drain or unclogging a drain. It's all flooding back to him. This flashback, it's all coming back. When I hit the leaves, I flip over a little, giving me a terrifying view of the yard as it screams up to meet me. I know, dizzying acceleration, and I brace for impact. But the memory ends there. I don't have to hit the ground a second time. So that's how it happened. The mishap that turned my entire life upside down and almost killed me. Serves me right for snooping on poor Mr. Tottingham. How is it my business if he wants to do yoga in form-fitting spandex? But that was the old Chase. Everything was his business, because he said it was. What was I planning to do with that picture if I managed to get the phone out of my pocket? Show Aaron and Bear and the football team? post it on Facebook, print off 50 copies, and plaster them all over town? I sigh. Who knows who knows why that Chase did what he did? I should probably just be grateful I don't have to be him anymore. The metal clutched tightly in my palm. I climbed down gingerly, careful to keep both hands and feet on the roof at all times. My mind is whirling. Brendan's house will just have to wait. Nothing there can be as important as returning this to its rightful owner. I have to see Mr. Solway. Near the eaves, I slide down on my butt to my window and throw my leg over the sill. Chase? Uh-oh. Mom. You promised you wouldn't go out on that roof ever again. Do I have to nail your window shut? I just blow past her. Sorry, Mom, I toss over my shoulder. Gotta get to Portland Street. I am not finished at yelling at you yet. Have you forgotten what happened to you last summer? Do you have amnesia about the amnesia? I run down the stairs calling, I'll explain later. In the kitchen, I snatch a soft dish towel off the drying rack and wrap it around the metal. I jam it in my pocket and I blast out the door. I can't believe it. I am so excited. All right, I don't even have time to talk about it. We just have to go right on to chapter 26. But it's being told by Joel Weber. We're going to have to wait to find out about Mr. Solway. All right, I'll see you in chapter 26. I can't wait.